Hello there, my Battlefield friends and fans. Welcome back to Battlefield 5. I've been playing this game non-stop since it came out, and I truly enjoyed after the first few hours of frustrations or a couple of days of frustrations. I really enjoy it now. I found my playstyle and I'm going with it, and I'm still running with the Self-Slaughter 1906. I just absolutely love this gun. This gun is beast in my opinion, depending on your playstyle obviously. So this is actually the very first match since I started playing this game where I ranked #1 in my team, and it's actually quite surprised me. I did not expect that at all, even though I was checking the stats in between and I was seeing that I was on top. But that happens to me actually a lot, that I'm at the beginning of the match, I'm on the very top or the first three, and then I kind of do worse at the second half of the match because I just get tired, or I don't know what. It always depends. I've noticed too that when I play really late at night, and I usually on the weekends I play until like 3 in the morning. On the weekdays I play until about 1 in the morning. The last few matches are always the worst. It's just because your brain just kind of slows down when you get tired, and that's very normal, and I have to always tell myself to just literally just stop, because it makes no sense to keep playing if you can't do well, if your brain just tells you to stop. So, with all of us gamers, we just have a hard time to stop. We always say, one more match, it's just going to be one more, it's going to be the last match, and then after that match, it's going to be like, I'm just going to do one more, and then the time just goes by, and all of a sudden you're like, oh my god, it's so late. I'm sure you can totally relate. But I actually don't want to talk about me or my gameplay in this video. I wanted to talk about the big update that we're going to get next week. It's coming out on December 4th, which is the Tuesday, and I'm really excited for it. Also, I have a little bit mixed feelings, but sometimes, there's updates that we were really waiting for, and there's other updates that we didn't expect and actually make certain things worse for certain gamers. So it really depends on what we are talking about here. So I've mentioned the TDK TDD vision that DICE has before. I'm not sure if this is going to be part of this update, which is called the Overture update, but they were talking about potentially changing the mechanics for this going forward. So I don't think they're actually gonna apply any changes to the TDK, but they have said that they notice players who die too often and too quickly that get very frustrated because of it. So they say they're looking on how they can improve the experience for new players and veterans alike. This may lead to a perceived slower TDK. And they're also investigating all elements that play into TDD, from netcode to damage, feedback, other components that influence TDD perceptions. They want to achieve gunplay balance where the experience is healthy, where latency is in a good place in order to improve consistency experience across all platforms, including PC and console. They want to propose any TDK model changes to us, the community, and involve us in testing experimental changes with the goal of improving experience and create a deeper gameplay potential. Yay, that sounds pretty good actually. So I kind of feel this is good that they don't just kind of like adjust something, like for example for the one type of player and then the other type of player gets frustrated. It's really not as easy as it seems. They really have to make sure that they find a nice balance to kind of please everyone, and I can just imagine how difficult that is. That's actually the same applies actually to weapon balancing. Like some people feel like, oh, this weapon is completely overpowered, other people feel like it's not. You can never please everyone, and that's like literally in every game. I can just imagine how difficult it is for the developer to just find that really nice medium, that nice balance in between everything. And they have mentioned some known issues with the max rank company coin accrual, which I was unaware of. They say they performed a backend update where there's no client download needed that has addressed this issue for players who have not hit rank 50 yet. Once they do, they will continue to accrue company coin. And the issue is also resolved for max rank players who will start to get their company coin at EOR, which I'm not sure what that means. And they have no promises but work on a solution that will award max rank players for the company coin they should have accrued per hours played at max rank. That's really good to know, and I think that's really fair, because it can be very frustrating if you're max rank and you literally just don't earn anything because there's a bug. Then they also talk about airlifts, which has been a confusion about what airlifts are. I haven't even heard about that, to be honest. I have no idea what that is, but for any of you who know what that is, they're apparently gonna address that. So there's going to be a lot happening next week. So first of all, they have the launch of the Battlefield 5 Tides of War Chapter 1 called Overture launch, which I've already mentioned. So on December 4th, which is Tuesday, the first Tides of War chapter is available. All content can be downloaded, including the Panzerstorm map, practice range, vehicle customization, and War Stories, The Lost Tiger. And on December 6th, the weekly missions and rewards begin. They also have planned trailers and live streams and vlogs and whatnot to announce everything. So that's going to be a really exciting week. So what are they going to really throw into the updates? So they first of all mention revive mechanics. With the update, they are providing improvements that will make the revive experience better on both ends for the reviver and the receiving revive. They identified a few delays that prevented players to get full control after the animation was completed. I have to admit, that's true. I got killed many times after reviving someone because I couldn't get out of the revive. So I'm really glad to hear that. Then they do a medic class balance. They say they will be introducing some weapon balance changes that will help most of the medic weapons to perform better at range. Yay! More specifically for the slower rate of fire SMGs that struggle to find a good place where they could compete against other weapons like assault rifles and light machine guns. I'm personally really glad to hear about that because I was kind of avoiding the medic weapons. I was trying them out. They're really good at close range, but forget about them. If you're on a bigger map, they're pretty much useless. So I'm glad they're actually adjusting that. And as always, when there's a Battlefield update, there's going to be a lot of weapon balancing and changes. So they're going to decrease or increase damage on certain weapons. I don't want to get into it. It's a pretty long list. They're going to fix some of the recoil, or they're actually going to increase or decrease some of the recoil. For example, they decrease the horizontal recoil on the Sten, which is good, even though a lot of people actually prefer the Sten. And they're pretty deadly with it, so it's going to get even more deadly. So I'm not sure about that one. Then they're going to do some changes to the specializations, to the reload of the KE7 MG34 actually, and the M1907. Then there's a bunch of miscellaneous stuff where they just improved sustained fire accuracy for some SMGs, decreased sustained fire accuracy for some assault rifles, and muzzle velocity, and so on and so forth. Then they had also mentioned dragging downed teammates, which is something I was unaware that you can actually do. They say you will not see the ability to drag down teammates with this update. We are still investigating feasibility around this mechanic. Wow, how do you drag a down teammate? That's actually really cool. They should leave that in. They're also going to make user interface changes like syncing loadouts across factions, apply all to weapon skins, and then they mention the airlifts again. They actually explain what airlifts are. I don't want to get into that now, my video is not long enough. Then they're gonna do something to Endless EOR, which is end of round. Here we go, we know it now. They said this was fixed in the recent Battlefield update. I don't know what that was. And they're gonna do spectator mode improvements like look at player and smooth rotation, camera sway, and so forth. So that's pretty much it about the big update on Tuesday. I'm especially excited about the new war story because I love those 3 war stories that are currently available. They're really, really awesome. And if you haven't checked them out, you really should. They're really, really cool. Great stories, amazing graphics, just amazing experience. And then of course also the new map, that's going to be exciting, and some of the weapon balances hopefully make things a little better. But other than that, I'm pretty satisfied with the game as it is right now. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please don't forget to give me a like. And I hope to see you next time. Until then, happy gaming, take care, bye bye.